Breaking news, breaking news, emergency, emergency. The Cowboys have hired, the Dallas Cowboys have hired Brian Schottenheimer as their new head coach. 10:30 at night. We're getting this information and it's interesting because Cowboys fans right now aren't happy, and I get it, and I want to make things very clear that, like, that as a whole, you have a right to be mad. And then after that, you have a right to do the research and figure out, how does this make sense? So I want to say that. I want you guys to understand that part. You have a right to be upset, just so we're clear. You have a right to be upset. You have a right to you have a right. You have a right, you have a right, you have a right. Brian Schottenheimer would not have been my first hire, but I'm also going to make this make sense, do the research, lean on you guys. I'm in draft mode. So, like, I'll say this. I'm extremely excited that they have a coach, so we know which way they might want to go in the draft. Because it's like, dog, if you just doing stuff, you just drafting, that's not smart either, right? And we got to be honest, like, we have to be honest. I believe that just drafting just to draft is not smart. And I think that not having a plan or not having why do you want to do this? What's your why? I don't believe in that. And I just, their why right now is Brian Schottenheimer. That's their why. Their why right now is Matt Eberflus, so we're going to make it make sense. I want to say this. I believe that Matt Eberflus is a great hire. Great hire. Defensively, I mean, go watch how Chicago played against Washington. Did a great job. I think the offense completely botched that game. Great hire. I really do. So to me, it's just like, we got to make the Schottenheimer pick make sense. So is there anybody out there? Oh yeah, Zimmer's gone. That's I knew once somebody asked what's the word on Zimmer. It ain't no word on Zimmer, dog. He out. To me, when I think about this team, I'm just like, maybe the hot name wasn't, I ain't gonna say necessary, but they gave Schottenheimer a 4-year deal. But Dak and CD still have 4 years remaining on their deal. I think that has merit and that holds weight and that means something. So I'm just like, bro, at the end of the day, like, for continuity, I'm actually not mad at it. Am I happy about it? No, I'm not mad at it because, hey, tell Rome to come over here. Tell Rome I said pull up on me if you want to jump on my live. I think that, I think that in my mind, sometimes when we overreact, and you know what? Somebody just said this. Let's talk about this. I think that sometimes when we overreact, and thank you, Jamie. Thank you, everybody, for jumping on this live. Sometimes when we overreact, you can make yourself look foolish. Like, I'm going to be honest, I don't know enough about Brian Schottenheimer to have an opinion. Like, I really don't. So of course, everybody's gonna say Jerry's pulling strings. Well, that's what Jerry has always done. So it's either that or you lead a team. Look, that's who Jerry is gonna be. My job and my role in this community is make it make sense. People are gonna say it's cope, it's excuses. How's it an excuse? I'm not in there with Jerry. Y'all, let me turn the comments off so I can I'm not in there with Jerry Jones. So like I don't know what Steven, we don't know. I don't think they know. Like I don't think they know. And so I will say that I am excited about Matt Eberflus. I'm gonna go watch. I'm gonna probably just stay up all. I'm gonna just pull an all-nighter, watch some of the Bears film, watch some of the schemes and concepts that they ran. But now this is the interesting part. This is where I do come in at. How do we draft for what Matt Eberflus likes to do? How do we draft for what Brian Schottenheimer likes to do? And what does this staff look like? I got to tell you, I really liked what I loved what Mike Zimmer did this year. I loved what he did with these young pieces. I love what he did with the linebackers. But I do believe that scheme-wise, Flus can come in here and have some of that same vibe. And what I do know about Brian Schottenheimer is the run game, there will be a premium. What I do know about Brian Schottenheimer is he puts a heavy vibe on he puts a heavy onus on running the ball. So what we need to find out is like what's his personnel going to be like. And so we'll see. I'm texting somebody now. I'm going to get them on the show. Let's see what I can do. Let me see something. Let me see if I can get this person on the show. We got this conversation live. Yeah, I just think that, at times it's easy to overreact.
What's going on, Brother Brad?
You on my live this time. Can y'all hear the guest of the hour?
What's good, chat? What's happening with you?
Man, look at that.
Top of the morning. This is Voch Lombardi on Voch Lombardi Live. What's good, chat? Top of the morning.
He laying down, y'all. He's sick in the head, yo. Hey, somebody go to Voch Twitter, add him and say my man laying down. He is sick with it, yo. This dude is crazy.
My boy, Foots, we are TIED time, my boy. But shit, it's always work. What's good, man?
Can I get you for 5 minutes? I just want your real live thoughts before the world gets them, before doing all right, everybody.
Well, Foots, let me just say this, man.
Yes. Yes, sir.
It was gonna be impossible to
hold on, Voch. Somebody say, "Hey, Voch, let me talk to."
Let me hit the button so you cry. Hold on. Let me put it up to the microphone. Hold on.
Are you live right now, Voch?
I am not live. I wrapped up doing all right, and I'm done working for the rest of the day. I'm clocking out after you, sir.
Okay.
But
hit the button for him.
The board, though.
Hit the button. He about to hit the button for him, y'all. He about to hit the button, yo.
I just hit the button. You wouldn't listen. Anyway.
Do it again. Do it again.
Do it again. There you go.
I got it.
There you go.
All right. Can y'all hear Voch loud and clear? Thumbs up for Voch Lombardi, guys.
So it's gonna be impossible to please any, group of Cowboy fans, regardless.
Especially right now.
Especially right now. There's not gonna be a. You live right now? I don't even see you live.
I'm live. I'm live.
Oh, okay. I'm tripping. Oh yeah, you live. You damn sure is like. There you go.
I just added you to my title, so now I can get more views because you the GOAT.
There was no. Hey man, get your money. There was no perfect candidate, bro. There was no perfect candidate, and you wasn't wrong when you said earlier, like, hey, you don't want to get worse looking for a new coach. You know what I'm saying? But I pushed back at you when I was like, it's the Joneses' job to get better. It's their job to do the due diligence and pick the right guy.
What's up, CFT? Yeah.
Did they pick the right guy? I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
But Foots, I'll tell you what, this is what I've been telling people. Head coach is different than OC. I think you can make the argument that your coordinators are more important than your head coach. As long as your head coach is competent, as long as he's a leader, and as long as he does the managerial things properly, you really win and lose games based on how good play callers are. My biggest gripe about Mike McCarthy, a couple big gripes, is you felt like we were never tough enough.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And on that same token, you would listen to a lot of people close to the organization say, well, they don't practice very much. Mike McCarthy prioritizes rest. And we sit guys down a bunch. And, you know, we don't want to do too much physical stuff. We don't really hear that from some of these other teams. These other teams use all of their padded practices. These other teams use all of they prioritize toughness. They don't do a whole bunch of the rest. Mike McCarthy prioritizes rest. And that's cool when you get healthy characters playing football for you on Sunday.
Yeah.
But it doesn't work out when everybody shows up, but we softer than the backups on the other team because we ain't been practicing. You feel me?
Yeah.
So one of my biggest gripes for Mike McCarthy is that it never felt like we was really tough enough when it came down to playing, playing against good teams. How can Schottenheimer fix that? He can amend that by, making sure that we practice, make sure that we have a tough schedule, and making sure that, the guys that he hired have a level of toughness to them so that we can, keep guys accountable and we can do all this kind of stuff. But the biggest gripe about Mike McCarthy, Foots, that I had is if he's the head coach, it's his job to make sure that the train is on the tracks. He ain't got a whole bunch of work to do, but it's your job to make sure that you are giving us every single chance to win. Mm-hmm. I think this year Mike McCarthy's ego got in the way. McCarthy's ego got in the way of, hey, this is my team. I'm going to call the plays, and if we go down, we're going to go down by way of me calling the plays. I don't hate that. But Foots, we was running upfield, and we was turning around.
Yeah.
On offense. Our wide receivers was running upfield and turning around.
Yeah.
And 3 years in a row, Foots, 3 years in a row, well, two really, pardon me, 2 years in a row when Mike McCarthy was in charge, right? Mike McCarthy had our offense looking strange for like 8 or 9 weeks. There would be a change in the middle of the season that we probably should have been doing since week 1. And all of a sudden, your offense looks different for the rest of the way. If you're the head coach, it's your job to look yourself in the mirror and be like, look, dog, I get it. And I may be ego guy, but I'm head coach first.
Yeah, yeah.
Let me hand play calling off to somebody else.
Yeah. Let
me hand play calling off to somebody else. Because clearly the Mike McCarthy way not working, bro.
Yeah.
Clearly the Mike McCarthy, and he didn't do that. Mike McCarthy didn't have enough managerial decision-making to go, all right, let me give play calling to the damn offense coordinator. We don't know what Shotty looks like as a damn play caller because Mike McCarthy never let him do it.
Yeah, that's true. And I will say it was very stand-up of Shotty to just play his role. Like he never came to the press conference and sounded bitter. He just, did his thing, and he did have good offenses in Seattle at times. And I think there is a world where coaches can learn. Go ahead.
Don't get this mistaken, though. Don't get this mistaken. Jerry Jones a piece of shit for this one because he ain't talked to but 3 people. He walked around the building and he grabbed 3 people by the wrist and he talked to them.
Yeah.
And he picked up the phone and he talked to Robert Saleh, and that was about it. This wasn't some exhaustive coaching search. Yeah. So I can't give Jerry Jones a pass. I can't hate Schottenheimer.
Right.
That's a rich dude. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Schottenheimer, rich dude. He got to do what he got to do. Jerry Jones, though, Foots.
Yeah.
It's not like, okay, look. Mm-hmm. When the Jets was looking for a head coach and a GM, we saw a brand new tweet every single day. Hey, the Jets been talking to 20 people for head coach. The Jets done talked to 20 people for GM.
Yeah.
So whenever they hire who they hire, if you a Jets fans, at least you can do is go, man, you know what? Man, them people talk to everybody. them people talk to everybody. Jerry Jones talked to 4 people for 5 people.
Yeah, that part to me, and we got 500 people in here, Voch, and they really are listening to your words, and this is dope. Before I let you keep going, Voch, because this is awesome, there actually is now a report that it's not stamped, but I'm gonna just say this, chat, and I'm gonna say it to Voch. Matt Eberflus is gonna be the DC. It don't.
I like Eberflus.
Yeah, they even though Jane is saying that it's not for certain, Matt, when that Robert Saleh news, and I saw your tweet, and I agree with you. When that Saleh news broke, first of all, I think that they had real interest in Saleh, but just because they're saying Matt Eberflus is not confirmed, bro, Matt Eberflus is coming to the Cowboys, and I'm not mad at that. Continue, Voch.
Eberflus is good, and if he's your DC, there's one part of the puzzle down. Go and find you a good offensive guy. But Jerry Jones talked to 4 people, bro. Leslie Frazier was one of them. I didn't even know Leslie Frazier. I don't want to talk to these coaches where they talking to you because they rent due. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Leslie Frazier rent was due. Schottenheimer rent was due, dog. I want to talk to somebody that got some kind of demand on them.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and look, to be fair, Pete Carroll rent was due. So I ain't really mad that we missed out on Pete Carroll. I didn't know he was in the conversation for real. But hey, Schottenheimer's the guy. He's going to be here for 4 years. Coincidentally, he might be connected to the hip with Dak Prescott. So when you get a new head coach, you might get a new quarterback with him. I think both those 2 dudes are going to live and die together. And if I had to guess, Foots, because this feels like the front office had to talk to some players about this.
Mm-hmm.
This feels like the front office maybe went to Dak Prescott about this.
Yeah,
I'm saying maybe because I know this, but I just don't want to be that guy and act like I'm reporting something or whatever. But I know this was they went to go talk to Dak about it, and Dak and a couple other people was advocating for Schottenheimer. This makes me believe that whatever Mike was doing offensively, both of those guys and a couple other characters, you could probably guess CD was one of them. Yeah. They were in disagreement, and Schottenheimer was probably dirty macking on Dak behind Mike McCarthy back, and that's why. Mm-hmm. That's why Shottenheimer here. So, hey, this is what we have. I'm not going to be at liberty to complain about this after me and you get done talking about it. It is what it is. It's done. We got to move forward to the draft. But Schottenheimer's the guy. It feels rushed and lazy, but that's how we do things here.
Before you go, Voch, something that you just said is where I think. First of all, shout out to Voch Lombardi on the draft show. He's been killing it. Voch, I'll be at the Senior Bowl, so if you need any film, anything. I got you, bro. I love what you're doing, man. Love you, bro. Like, this is really my bro. As y'all see, I called him on the phone. He not answering the phone for nobody else this late, but he gonna answer. Yeah. So, Voch, I just want to say this, right? And I think that you just hit on the head. Guys, it's not our job to complain because y'all not going nowhere. I'm not going nowhere. I done said 3-4 times on Twitter, I'm leaving this franchise. Guess what I'm doing? Sitting right here talking to y'all at 10:53 in the morning. I mean, at night, talk about Cowboys because y'all make us who we are. So it's not our job to complain. It's our job to make it make sense. We've seen teams and we've seen fan bases overreact, and it goes the complete other way. All I'm saying is this. While Voch just made a good point, well, maybe he was dirty macking. Bro, maybe Schottenheimer really has Dak's ear. Maybe they really, maybe he really was in the trenches with Dak, like, bro, what do you like this? What are we doing here? What is your vibe here? And I'm going to be honest with you. If this move gets Dak back to 30 attempts a game, 25 attempts a game, 2 damn good running backs, O-line, gap scheme stuff, we would be in shotgun runs without a threat for Dak to run the ball because it wasn't like we using him in the run game. So, like, if this gets us there, and I'm going to go watch some of Shotty's stuff and really try to make it make sense. But, like, at the end of the day, bro, let's make it make sense before we just go crazy because we could get – this time last year, Voch, everybody wanted Bobby Slowick. Bobby Slowick don't have a job today.
Yeah, that's true. That's real. That's real.
Bobby Slowick don't have a job today. What if the same Ben Johnson that we love
McCarthy got a job neither.
I know you happy about that. Voch, man, listen, bro. I'm gonna actually, as soon as I get off the phone with you, I'm gonna tune into the Doing All Right pod. And much love to you, bro. Get your rest. Did you have anything else before I let you go? I'm gonna let CFT pop in.
I just got one more thing, man. What up, Rome? Salute. One more thing, man.
Yeah.
I wonder in the first 8 weeks of the season for the last 2 years, when our players running the field and turning around.
He ain't gonna let them curls go, boy. I tell you, boy.
That's clearly Mike McCarthy's offense, right?
Well, that is Mike. That's Mike.
No. But that's Mike McCarthy's offense. When our wide receivers, our talented wide receivers, running the field and turning around, right? That's Mike McCarthy's offense. I wonder whose offense was it week 9 to 18 the last 2 years. That's what we need to figure out. Mike McCarthy doesn't turn into some creative genius overnight, and then the very next year he go right back to run the field and turn around. I wonder if we saw some of Schottenheimer's offense, or if we saw some of like Dak taking over. Like what? Where did the success come from? When CD went and cussed Mike out and said, "Look, run the field and turn around ain't gonna work." I wonder when the offense started working, whose offense was that? And I would love to figure that out. Maybe I'm gonna call a source and I'm gonna get some information, get it back to you, but we'll see.
Hey man, love you, bro. Get some rest. We'll talk next week.
Love you, man. You one of the hardest working in the business. I'm proud of you. Love you, bro. Salute. Peace.
All right, peace, Brody. Yep. Ladies and gentlemen, that was Voch Lombardi. Now I got another special guest on the channel. His name is Rome, Cowboys Fan Talk. Rome, let me go get my headphones as I welcome into this place. We got to sing gospel, Rome, because this ain't looking good. Here we go. Nah, we ain't going to say it ain't looking good. Here you go, Rome.
What's goody, man?
How are you?
What's good?
Let me get my headphones real quick, Rome.
It's all good.
We just gonna go with it, man.
Everybody that was good. Everybody that came over here from when y'all was watching me, what's good with y'all?
Man, Rome, where do we start? I want to give you the floor. Thank you for jumping on, bro. I know this is an emergency pod, but I kind of want to just give you the floor. You know, we are giants in our space. You're a giant in the YouTube space, and
appreciate you,
like
man.
You are also a GOAT. So, how do you feel, Rome? Because I have thoughts high level, but I want to give you the floor.
All right. Well, first and foremost, thank you for having me on, man. Y'all know who Foots is, staple in this community. Seriously, I wouldn't be doing this without Foots. I'm not gonna be pessimistic for the sake of being pessimistic on Brian Schottenheimer. Initial thoughts when the idea first came about, shock value. I was frustrated because of how he got presented to me. It felt like just a easy, less friction. I don't want anybody to come in and disrupt our normal flow type hire. So frustrated about how he got presented to me. That was before I got a chance to look into his coaching prowess, his experience, his philosophy, you know, how he can lead men. I was just mad at like, oh, you just gonna give him the job. So that's why I was frustrated. But I'm not going to be, as I was saying on my stream, it's January 24th. I refuse to be negative for 8 months just for the sake of being negative. I don't want to do it. Now, if I get turned into negative because they make horrible move after horrible move, then we'll revisit it when we revisit it. But I'm not going to. I just don't want to do it. I'll just stop making videos. I can't just be negative for the sake of being negative. So that's one. During my stream, my stream started off with a title of "We lost Al Harris. Good luck to him." And I was saying, hopefully we can get Robert Saleh. Literally, that's what my stream started off as. 35 to 40 minutes into the stream, we hired Brian Schottenheimer officially. So I had to go change my stream title. I'm glad I didn't have a thumbnail. I just had my face up. So I changed so I said, wow, we hired Brian Schottenheimer. I did another 15 to 20 minutes. I was about to have to just shut it down. Like, all right, man, we'll let me like do some research. We'll chop this up later. It says, hold on, Ron, we just hired hired Matt Eberflus. Had to go back, change the title again. And said we hired our offensive coordinator and our head coach and our defensive coordinator. So it was a long hour. Just I want to say emotionally. I'm just saying like how your mind go mad places. So I literally was just like I don't know how to feel. But when we hired Eberflus, I got excited because I wanted to pair Schottenheimer with someone with experience.
Yeah.
And after hearing Voch and shout out to Voch, and I heard the love Voch gave me, man. Appreciate you, Voch. One of the goats in the space, as y'all know. I listen to him every night. That's how I shut it down. And Broad has been saying for the last 2 days that Zim didn't want the job. No, Zim wanted the job, but he's tired of being passed over.
Right.
I can understand him. Just man to man, it's like that's why y'all keep overlooking me. So that was my first thing to say. Well, if we're gonna keep Shotty, I hope we can keep Zim because I want somebody that has head coaching experience. So once that dissolved, I was like, well, this is a very important hire, the defensive coordinator. And I was thinking that while I was on stream. So we started saying, well, maybe Rex Ryan, maybe Wink Martindale, maybe we just going through names on the stream.
Right.
And I did mention Eberflus. Had no idea that it was going to roll down that quickly because Eberflus, people don't understand that Eberflus had the rock star treatment. You just don't remember it because that cycle has passed.
Right.
Eberflus was one of the rock star hires. It's just when he was the Colts defensive coordinator, that Colts defense was really good. And he was a former Cowboy. And back then, people don't remember, Cowboys fans were saying, I wish we can get Eberflus over here. I remember that.
Yeah.
And then he gets the head coaching job for the Chicago Bears, and that doesn't go as great as it does when you first get hired. And now the shine is off his name. But everybody needs to remember, the shine was off of Dan Quinn's name when he left Atlanta.
Yeah, that's what I said, yeah.
And now the shine is back on his name because he came here and rehabilitated his coaching career. Eberflus ain't stupid. He knows what making the Cowboys a prominent defense could do for his career. This is I'll scratch your back, you scratch mine. He not just here for fun.
Yeah, you're right, Ron. You're right.
I think once people get a chance to dig into his defensive prowess, remember under Eberflus, Robert Quinn got 18 sacks. He ain't a slouch with the defense.
Yeah.
Now, he might not know how to coach an offense for nothing. Like, as far as like help cultivate his quarterback. But that's not what he's here to do.
Yeah.
So
he has one side of the ball.
I'm sorry. I know I'm long-winded.
No, you're not. No. This is, bro, we got 900 people in here. We're going to talk about it till we can't no more because people are, and this is our space and we're stronger together. So I owe you one as well, Rome, whenever you need me on. I'll be at the Senior Bowl if you want to get some work in.
Oh, don't get me excited because that look, like you were saying right before I was backstage, this is the most excellent point ever. Now we have a POV on what we need to be looking at because we've been just grabbing players. Like some people like are scheme and coach proof. Like I'll take Genty with whoever. But when you start getting into the back half of the draft and you start considering free agents and situations, it's hard to do that when you don't know what direction you're heading.
Yeah.
But we know now.
Yeah, I think it'll be interesting to hear from Will McClay. I know that he'll still be around. I don't think that Jerry is crazy.
I'm not letting him go.
And I got to tell you, man, I think that Matt Eberflus is a great hire.
I do.
His teams rush well. His team stop the run well. They have good keys. He understands. He understands he understands run game. He understands linebacker play. He was our linebackers coach before he was before he got a chance to be a DC.
I love that too because I feel like linebacker play at one point for the Cowboys was so overlooked. Yeah, and I know Zimmer brought back very good fundamentals and stuff like that. But I think Eberflus can continue that trend because at one point I feel like we was just not given no type of real resources or like real effort to that room. And y'all got to remember, man, it's some linebackers under Eberflus that really came to prominence. Like that's his thing. Yeah. So
Jalen Johnson was really good in with the Bears, and so right now it's not official. Right, it's not an official hire, but I know so what happened was Jane Slater, she just came out. Matter of fact, let's go to Twitter.
I thought Ed Werder said it was official.
Ed did say it was official, but then Jane came back and said,
"He said, hey, relax."
Jane came back and said, slow down. But I'm gonna go out and say that's the hire, because it was the same thing just now with this whole. It was the same deal with this. It was the same deal with Shotty. It was the exact same deal.
I think that's reporter stuff though. Like, I don't think, like, they got their rules and the way they handle stuff.
That's all it is, man.
They wants to be like, hey man, it ain't official.
That's all you know exactly what it is, bro. She wants to say Jane, and I like Jane. Jane's good, right? But she wants to say, Jane wants to come out and say, because apparently what was said was they have to go through. There it is right here. Source informed tells me the Cowboys have not completed the process of hiring their division. Blah blah blah. Matt Eberflus is somebody who they hold in high regard, while Jerry Jones has maintained a relationship with him. They have talked for recent months, but that just sounds like she wants to be the one to break the story, or it's just like everybody want to be the one to break the head coaching story. I get it.
Look, I guess we all got a role to play. It's like a relay race. And unfortunately, sometimes we're at liberty outside of people that having like direct back sources. I don't have as many as some people. We're at liberty to the official reporters. I don't like rolling with like NFL rumors and stuff like that, because that's always dicey.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like when people like Ed Warder put stuff out there, they got a little merit to their name. I can take it to the bank. Now, if he's wrong, then I'll just have to stand corrected.
He's the DC, bro. Like, trust me.
Because I know Ed gets text messages direct from Steven.
Yeah, he's going to be the defense coordinator. Apparently they're saying it's on the website. But I'm going to turn the comments off. Let's get to these supers real quick. Yeah. And then we'll turn the comments off and we'll just talk. So Cowboys, the Joneses are clowns. I get it. You have a right to feel that way.
Man, you got to let people. I don't expect people to flip their emotions like a light switch.
Exactly.
So we're going to get that for a little bit. And I'm not mad at y'all. It's going to take some goodwill over the next couple of months to get you back, at least in a positive mindset. I understand.
Cowboys in trouble. Daniels, Eagles, not going nowhere. Giants about to get Cam Moore. And see, that's why I'm glad that was brought up, because let's pull back the curtains and really talk ball for a second, right?
Let's do it.
And thank you for those supers. I'm not looking at the chat. I just want to focus on me and Rome talking ball, and I'll get to questions. We got time tonight, y'all.
Yeah. No question.
So the truth is this. I wanted my defensive hire to almost succeed the head coach. Here's why. And I think Matt Eberflus does that.
Yeah, head coaching experience.
If you watched Matt Eberflus versus the Packers, if you watched his schemes versus Jaden Daniels, like, it really took a Hail Mary for the Commanders to beat the Bears. The Bears were on that offense like white on rice. The Bears played good defense. The biggest issue with the Bears was the O-line and Caleb, and that's why I said, and that's why I'm saying now, Rome, as much as we do draft talk and do this stuff and do everybody, last year, man, Caleb Williams, and I didn't have Caleb as my number one. I had actually Drake May as my one.
I like Drake May, but we can talk about that another time.
I like Drake, and I think that just overreaction, period, is not smart. Think about it. Think about how many people overreacted to Bobby Slowick. Think about how many people overreacted to CJ Stroud. Think about how many people are going to overreact to Jaden Daniels.
The pendulum goes, but it don't never settle in the right place, because now people tripping. They acting like CJ can't play a little bit. It's like the pendulum swings too. It's like even with Jaden Daniels, I think he's phenomenal. But when I start hearing like Colin Cowherd say that the NFC is going to run through Washington for the next decade, I'm like, all right now.
Yeah, don't get crazy.
He's going to be great, but you just gave him the conference for a decade? Like, it's what is it? Shock jocking is like, let's say, the most craziest thing.
Yeah. I like you said, and so I just believe that at the end of the day, while in our mind, we did not, let's be real, Rome. We did not want Brian Schottenheimer, at least Foots didn't. But
I wasn't even thinking about him.
As it's come to fruition, it's like, man, you know what? Let's make it make sense. Okay. let's watch and let's really talk about it. Well, loves to run the ball. We got 1,000 people. This is the first time my channel has ever had 1,000 people in there. So shout out to Rome. Shout out to Voch Lombardi.
It's the time, man.
I don't even go live, so maybe that's why. But people are really interested, and I appreciate you guys. For
Last time I
nothing
got
else,
1,000, bro, we lost to the Niners, and people was in there just to laugh at me. So
and I'm not listening.
So I take
if you a opposing fan and you want to laugh, it's all good because me and Rome gonna talk ball, man. And
oh yeah, that don't phase me. I'm Teflon. We can do that.
and so I this is where I'm at with it right here, Rome. Let me get to this super real quick. You think a good OC hire can help the team since he won't be calling plays? Because I feel like, and so that's what I can't even go that far because I don't know if he won't be calling plays. I don't think he will. I think that they want a CEO, and I think Shottenheimer has that type of.
You don't think they're gonna have him calling plays?
I don't know. That's what I don't know.
Think Jerry and them want that because Jerry and them cheap. They try to get a 2-for-1.
Well, let's think about it. Do we want our head coach? Do we look at I use this. I was on when we did our last live stream. I just did I coached and I just did a high school All-American game.
So look
this
at
is all the version.
They go screenshot you like they do Mike McCarthy.
Look at it. Look at all these plays, guys. I mean, they get screenshots. It's all good. Y'all want to do a clinic? Let's talk about it. This is all. So you got to think about this. Then you got to think about what's going on in special teams. Then you got to think about time and clock management. Like it's so much that you have to
can do it though.
No, and they can, but I'm
special few.
But it's a special few. Why not have a guy who is like, you know what? This is who we want to be. You call the offense, but you know who we want to be. See, the problem with coaches is, if we're being honest, now we can get deep, CFC. Coaches have a major ego problem. Most coaches have extreme ego issues, CFC. They have extreme, I called that play. I did that. And guess what? It took Andy Reid getting another head coach on his side because that defense was good. You bring in Spags, it's great. Now Andy can just focus on his side of the ball. I like Sean McVay, right? I do. And he's one of the few that makes it look good. Kevin O'Connell, for some reason, they fall short. A few others who are head coach, play caller. So my point is this. You give guys a chance and you delegate. You delegate.
I don't know.
Go ahead.
You're right, 100%. I think that the Jones family, if I know them, they hired him and they want him to cut his teeth doing what they hired him to do, which is they kept him because of his relationship. Apparently, this is what been the stories that's floated to the media without a direct source. What do they say? A source close to the situation, the Cowboys. So a source close to the situation basically saying his relationship with Dak is why he is here. I even heard a story floated that Dak wanted him over Kellen. I heard that story floated in the last couple of days. As far as they asked Dak who he would want more, and he nodded to Shotty. So they're going to want to validate, because ain't that a Cowboys thing? I need to validate the hire. So validating the hire would mean you got to call the plays. Now, your point makes sense. That might not be a smart thing to do, especially with a young coach that's learning this whole team running thing. That's why I think on the surface, these people have titles. I think behind the scenes, Matt Eberflus is going to be helping this gentleman learn how to run a team.
Yeah.
He 100%, if he's coming on, we need you to help mentor Shotty.
Yeah.
And I think they might have even asked Zim about that, and he said, heck no, I'm not mentoring Shotty. I want the job. So they moved on.
Yeah, and I just don't believe that. First of all, it's still a lot we don't know. So it's a fluid situation because, again, what if he's not calling the plays? What if they do have another play caller in mind?
It better not be. People keep saying, well, maybe Mike Solari. It better not.
I don't think they would make Mike Solari there. I think that what's going to happen is Lunda Wells is going to be. I'd be okay with that. Because I want to get back to running the ball. Like, that's when Dallas was a great football team. Dak can process. Dak can make every throw. I want to get back to running the football.
Don't every franchise got a thing, though? And at the end of the day, Cowboys' legacy, we've had great quarterbacks. We've had Staubach and we've had Aikman, etc. But everyone that really had some real success, that back was there. Now, I know I'm not going to get into the whole, is it Genty? That's a whole nother stream. But my point is, like you said, running the ball is in our fabric as an organization. And we got away from it. We need to bring it back.
Well, I think that if you can remember back, guys, in 2014, 2015, 2016, Zeke was brought in for Tony Romo. Like, and then and then Tony got hurt, and then bingo, all of a sudden it's a Zeke is the man, Dak is the man. What if that is where Dak is now? He's so cerebral. He's so smart. So now you bring in a Genty. You have Schottenheimer who believes in playing physical, playing a certain way. You bring in two backs. I'll be at the Senior Bowl. This class has running backs.
That Arkansas running back, I'd take him in the late rounds, but I was going to ask you about him.
Man, you got backs.
I think it's Quaden Jackson.
Jackson can go. He can go. I was just looking.
That's what I want. I want two backs because, no disrespect to Rico, I want to rebuild the room. Period.
No, Rico's not good enough. I don't think that, and that's not a knock on Rico, but like I was saying this yesterday, I think that that 1,000 yards has been extremely overrated. It's 1,000 yards, 1,000 yards.
It's like, so.
Yeah, right. I mean, think about it. Najee Harris has had 1,000 yards every year he's been in the league. Nobody looks at Najee Harris like, man, he's this great runner. Like, and that's why I always go to war for Gibbs, because there's people who will give you success rate. Oh man, Gibbs, but look at A-Chain's success rate. I'm like, bro, there's nobody in the world thinks that Devon A-Chain is a better player than Gibbs. They just don't.
But think about it. You a coach.
Yes.
No one, this is going to sound disrespectful, and I'm sorry, but listen, no defensive coordinator said, how are we going to stop Rico Dowdle this week?
Nobody. You're not wrong.
But you know what? We need to stop 88.
Yeah.
So when are we going to help CD Lamb where they got a game plan for? Because when you look, I hate to give them their flowers because they get on my nerves.
Philly.
But you got to, it's a lot of game plan. All right, we got to stop Devontae. We got to stop AJ. We got to stop Goddard. We got to stop Saquon. It's like 5 people.
Yeah.
In their success.
Yeah. No, I think that I'll say this, guys, and I think that we have become it has to be this or it has to be that society. Right now, you in a mindset of, man, let's let it all happen. I'm not happy. When I first went live about this CFT, this was 2 days, at the beginning of the week. It was like, once I heard that it was real.
Gonna happen.
It was like, let's try to make it make sense. I'm still not happy. You're allowed to not be happy. But what we can't do is, because what could happen, and I've seen it happen, we drafted Micah Parsons. Nobody was happy. We drafted Tyler Smith.
That's a good point.
Nobody was happy.
I said, linebacker, what we gonna do with it? Yeah. I ain't know.
We drafted Mozzie Smith. Everybody, oh man, we got the D tackle we wanted. It's taking a little bit longer. So I think that the point is, sometimes it's okay to let things play out. Now, I'll be honest with you. He's going to be called a yes man. I'm here to tell you, whatever coach you hired was going to be called a what, CFT? A yes man, because you're working for Jerry Jones. The only person who could have possibly upstaged him was Dion.
That's why he ain't hired.
But see, I'm gonna push back right here.
Oh, not because of Jerry. Bro, Steven don't want no friction. He don't want no static.
And not only that, but bro, Dion was never leaving Colorado. That's all.
He a king there.
A king.
A king. They love him there. The faculty, they tried to float some fake friction. He can't get NIL money. Dion ain't going nowhere because the Buffaloes was not talked. They were not talked about 3 years ago.
Yeah. I swear I can't. This is the worst hire in Cowboys history. Dak wanted this. This ish.
Man,
F him.
he
Oh,
ain't
well,
Dave
okay.
Campo. You gotta relax.
Too cool. Too cool. Too cool. Relax, man. It's not that. It's not that big
Let
of
me
a
say this
deal,
though.
bro.
Let me say this to you.
Let me get to these supers real quick. Chris
Oh, yeah,
B.
do your thing. My fault.
This is such an effing joke. I know, Chris. I get it, bro. Thank you for the super chat. Chris, we gonna make it, bro. I promise we are. Top effing messaging. F that I can't trade. Okay, so too cool. Come with some positivity, but I am thankful for your super chats because that is what makes the world go round. Thank you. Too cool. All right. CFC, you had a thought.
No, I was gonna say this. If we get certain, like, I hate to say it, when we get certain hires as Cowboys fans, we want the big name because we want to microwave this thing.
Mm-hmm.
We hired Deion Sanders. I would have did it. Y'all would have did it. We go to sleep at night like we got us one. It's lit. Now, I know Deion would have worked for it, but I'm saying certain names would have made us, it would have been tucked in that night and so happy. Brian Schottenheimer, unlike when we got McCarthy, I remember it because I made videos. I just started my channel. He had this whole little phrase, everything we do will be about winning, and everybody was ready. Like, okay, we got us one. He ain't the clapper. And, we know how it ended. Schottenheimer has no type of good will or like you see what most of the fans are saying. They're already out on it. So for him to change thoughts, he's not going to be king made. He has to work for it, which means
that's a good point.
Coach is about to put his head down and work because he has no choice. He has to win the first conference. He has to win over his players. Not that I know he has some players that are behind him. I'm saying like as the new title of head coach, because people are like, oh, you just the yes man. They're going to put Witten on your staff. He has so much stuff built up against him. The only way to win people back is by getting to work.
Yeah.
And I like that though.
I think that there's a world where like everybody's mad, right?
Yeah.
And I get it. Like, dog, I live in DC. How you think I feel?
Hey man, you DMV, I commend y'all, brothers. Y'all behind enemy lines.
How you think I feel? But I also, what I'm not gonna do is make myself look like a fool by saying something that I'm gonna regret, because at the end of the day, what if Schottenheimer works out? What if Schottenheimer gets Dak? And it wasn't like Dak was off track, but I'll just be honest, our run scheme sucked. Like
Dak been off track though this year.
I don't think that Dak was off track. I'm gonna tell you what happened. Like this is where I'm gonna tell you the God's honest truth. From a schematic standpoint, we completely botched the run game and the running back position. Completely botched it. To the point, thinking that, and maybe the front office forced Zeke on Mike. That was a complete fail. Maybe the front office forced Rico on, and I won't say that was a complete fail, but it was just a botched job. That's why I've been going so hard on socials and everywhere else for Ashton Jeanty, because while there may be another, you could find, listen, you could go Caleb Johnson, you could go Marion Hampton. There's players in this class. This is what I do. Devin Neal. I love Travion Henderson. Love him. Capital L. At the end of the day, I know what I'm looking at when it comes to Ashton Jeanty. Some of those run lanes, some of the creative ability, some of the way that he's able to stay strong and stay fresh. It's the contact
balance for me.
The contact balance, he's low to the ground. He's low to the ground. Some of that you can't coach. Now you give Dak that, and you go get another back. Okay? So now you give Dak that. Dak can manage the offense with that. He still has enough pop in his arm. He still is a good enough decision maker. But the problem is this. When a defense doesn't respect your run game, they don't care.
Let me ask you this. Why do people act like that's taboo? Why do people act like saying that a quarterback needs a run game is bad? Like that ain't a fact.
Well, okay. Because nobody wants to be wrong. Because the runner, you remember this argument from me 2 years ago. You've been following my draft stuff, CFT.
Of course.
2 years ago was there's no way you take a running back in the first round. It's taboo. Well, I like that word, taboo. And so what does Brad Holmes do? Great team builder in Detroit. He trades up for Jahmyr Gibbs. Why? Because he knows how much easier that makes the world. What do the Philadelphia Eagles do? They go get Saquon because they know how much easier that's going to make things for Jalen Hurts.
James Cook has changed life.
James Cook is a really good player.
But he has changed life for Josh Allen. I know
changed his life.
They think Josh Allen by himself. I know. That's the
I'm gonna do you one better. I'm gonna do you one better, CFT. What it's done, to be honest with you, I think that it's made them the favorite in the AFC and possibly to win the whole thing because they run the ball really well. And they got those big guards, Osiris Torrance and Deion Dawkins, and they come at you. Let's get to these supers. CFT. I know you've been on here. I'm gonna let you go.
Good. We good.
I'm gonna try to keep it to an hour, and I'm gonna just watch the film.
And that's why I went live. I was like, oh, all right, my kids on their iPads, wifey getting their hair done. I'm gonna go live. I didn't know the world was gonna change. I didn't know we was about to get coaches. So it just snowballed.
It worked out like that.
Yeah.
I ain't mad at it. Wasn't my choice, but I'm gonna keep it positive. There you go. Let's effing go. Tacoma John, my God, thank you for the $1 and $2. I hope you're ready to be third or fourth in division in a while. Okay, Chris, we'll see. Let's come back. Yeah, I'm not ready for that, but we'll see. Let's go here. Foot CFC, we got to be real. Shorty has 25 years coaching experience. He must be doing something right to keeping a job.
And his coaching lineage is dead.
That's I like that point, Mr. Prophet. That's a good point. And guess what? Everybody doesn't get in the same way that others do. Some people got to work a little bit harder. He's had to do that, but he's taking a road less travel. He's still a young, 51? He has a lot of energy. That's very young, and he knows the game. It can work, but need a HR staff. Need a home run. Okay, I know you're saying need a home run offseason and a staff. He had 4 top 10 offenses, bros. He's willing to stay if he's willing to stay modern. Thank you, Nathan B. Foots. I bet you 1,000 that we ain't doing ish with Dak and Shotty. Put your money where your mouth is.
So you want to too cool. You too cool. Focused on
Stay cool. Too cool.
Too cool. I think this is one of the most poisonous things that happens in Cowboys Nation.
Yeah.
Too many times people want to be right instead of want to get it right.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care about being right. I want to get it right. Mm-hmm. It ain't about proving me and Foot's wrong.
No.
It ain't about proving you right. It's about this thing working and whatever it's going to take to make it work. Because as much as coaches make things work, players make it work too. It ain't at Foot's nose. It's X's and O's and it's really
Jimmy's and Joe's. Yeah, man.
So get some players.
Yeah.
You can talk all this trash about Brian Schottenheimer as you want to. We get Genty and Savion Williams.
And get some guys in here.
And it's gonna look a little different when he running some real weapons out there. So, things can change in the blink of an eye, not just with drafting. Maybe we pull our head out of our rears and start signing a couple of good veterans. You know what I'm saying? You never know. Things can change. And sometimes the Jones family, as much as y'all don't want to believe it because the actions ain't been lining up, they want to look like they're right. I've seen them go out and sign people that at the time I was like, why they signing him? Trying to appease their coach. I remember the Keon O'Neal signings and the Clinton Davis, Clinton Dix, and certain players, Gerald McCoy, and they're trying to appease a coach at the time. Mm-hmm. Now, they didn't always work, but my point is, I can see them being like, you know what, Eberflus, how about a little Khalil Mack? Let me give you a little something for goodwill. Mm-hmm. Not necessarily we're not getting a Chris Jones $100 million signing. You can get that out your mind.
Mm-hmm.
Well, maybe we'll get a decent little veteran that just turned 29, 30. That's all I'm saying. They could look. I laughed at the Zach Ertz signing too. I ain't laughing no more.
I know. I'm gonna actually do my homework and make it make sense. There you go. Yeah, let's just stay calm.
All right, Foots.
No, you good. Let's keep going. Jackson, the Arkansas State, yes, DFW kid. That's a good call for CFT. Thank you, CFT, for joining. Do we have any more supers? The Cowards announcing for 10 p.m. Okay, yeah, it is late. But at the end of the day, we got 1,000 people on here, so we're gonna give y'all this
crazy,
show.
Man. Shout out to everybody, man.
Shout out to y'all, man. All right. CFT, before I let you go, y'all act like we getting Genty. It just seems okay. So here we go. Before I let you go,
Facts.
You have the floor. Talk Cowboys fans off the ledge of how you think this could work. And I know we kind of spent time analyzing it, but like, what would CFT do to make this work? As far as like, I like what you just said. Maybe you do get a Khalil Mack, who's is reported that he's not coming back to the Chargers, so that's another name. Maybe we go get a corner in free agency. Is there somebody that the Bears had that Eberflus wants? Is there any moves that you like? I know you're on board with Genty, but are there any moves that you may want to make this make sense?
I want everybody to just think about this. I'm a lead into what Foots was saying earlier, and I know this is gonna sound sacrilegious, but just flow with me for a second before y'all laugh and start acting stupid. John Elway.
Mm-hmm.
I know Dak Prescott is not John Elway before y'all start freaking out. Just conceptually, think about what I'm saying. John Elway got older. He needed something to help him and his team get over the hump. Enter Terrell Davis. Now, we're not saying that Genty is the end-all, be-all, because I want him, but I'm not going to let it be if he gets snatched up earlier. It just is what it is.
Mm-hmm.
But we need a back, and there's plenty in this draft. Trust me. You want to find out? Go watch. Foot's been on it.
Yeah, I actually got a video. Matter of fact, I'll put the video in the that where I got all my rankings. I put in this, but continue. This is good. This is good.
Conceptually, we're going to shift the way we're playing and help extend Dak's career.
Yes,
and make this a more balanced team.
Yes,
we were too much relying on Dak go be Superman. And I got this thing I've been saying on my channel for weeks, man, maybe months. I know everybody loves to say, well, Dak makes 60 million, make it work.
Mm-hmm.
I love to say this, and this is why this will work. You have to give your investment help. You have to nurture it. You don't buy a multi-million-dollar house and don't take care of it. You don't buy a Lamborghini and try to make it run on water. You don't have a $60 million quarterback and say, I'm not giving you any receivers or running backs or a good scheme. You do it by yourself. And then you get mad at the no return on your investment. I think that Shottenheimer is actually going to help give you return on investment because I think that he's going to try to accentuate Dak's strengths and stop trying to make him go out there, as you were saying earlier, go throw for 35 times a game. That ain't his strength. I know it looked good them years when he threw for almost 5,000, but the hubris part of his career needs to be over. What does it take to win? And I think that Shottenheimer having no ego yet, he can't have an ego.
Can't.
I think Eberflus, everybody on this team is coming off a failure. Everybody. Dak Prescott's coming off of a bad season and injury, and is he too old? And Micah Parsons is hears whispers of, we should just trade him, and I don't know what that's about, but that's another story for another day. You got the front office, of course, they're just said to be failures. Eberflus just got fired mid-season. Yeah. So I like that we're going to be having hopefully people that got reasons to work harder, chips on their shoulders, for lack of better wording. That's why it's going to work, because there was no hire that was made so far where someone can just walk in with their chest out.
Yeah.
It's a lot of work that even our first round pick from last year is forgotten about. People saying, go get another tackle. Like he just retired. So
this is not how it works. Yeah.
So I'm just looking at it like this, Foots. I'm happy that we can't have hubris as a fan base. I think it's good. We gotta all kind of put our heads down and grind. Whether it's content creators trying to convince y'all of why this will work, the players need to get back on their grind. It's the grind off season. All that usual, we beat our chests and we them boys gotta wait. You know what I'm saying?
Well, in closing, guys, this is just the God's honest truth. It keeps continuity for your guys who are Dak, CD, the bigger names on this team, Micah. This sounds like it was player driven. This is a players league. I do believe that they're going to go. I think they're going to be I'm 100% sure they're going to be active in free agency. I do believe a Dak restructure is coming, and I think that if you have the draft that you need to have, this can work. I don't think that the defenses in the NFC East outside of Philly are elite. We moved the ball up and down the field on Washington. Brian Schottenheimer was on
with
that.
Cooper Rush, mind
with
you.
Cooper Rush. Brian Schottenheimer was on that staff. He was the OC that was a part of that. So I think this also allows there to be a world where there's change, but it's not a drastic change. Because I think a drastic change could be bad. A drastic change could go left. And I don't think that this team needs a drastic change, even offensively. It's literally one thing they need to do. They need to run the football. They need to have better run schemes. I think that the passing game, I think it's hyperbolic because at the end of the day, they weren't marrying the run game with the pass game. You get into some of that with the play action and all that type of stuff. Guess what? Now your pass game looks a little different. Now your stuff looks different, but they weren't able to get into some of that. So
I'm tired of the contested catches, man.
I'm tired of contested catches.
Everything is like such a when we were running offenses, it was rare that people were schemed open.
Yeah. It
was just like you got to battle. Like, Dag Foot, you get me excited. It's just when it works with the play action portion, I felt like that was some of Dak's best times of his career. When he had, it ain't even about the threat of running, when he had the threat of a real running game.
It's the run game. For me.
People keep saying it was Dak was never Lamar Jackson. So I don't know where they gotta let that go.
I think some of that came to CFT. Some of that came from, well, we need Dak to step up through pockets. We need him to improve. Dak hears the noise. I think that he wants to be better in that way. I think that he will. He's a very hard worker. Listen, we're watching quarterbacks throw, including including Patrick Mahomes throw for 150 a game. Jalen Hurts. So like, passing yardage is down. I mean, people are going crazy over it.
The running backs are back.
Bro, it shifted. And this is why I said 3 years ago, go get Gibbs or go get even the Tajay Spears. He hasn't panned out the same, but that's why I was saying,
but every back that moved around, look, Mixon paid dividends.
He's a dog.
Jacobs paid dividends.
Yes.
I even see Aaron Jones paying dividends.
Yes.
Like, so we just
I want to say this, right? I'm gonna look at this and then I'm gonna let you go, CFT, because I'm actually tired myself now.
we working.
He's in year 9, by the way. He is who he is. Exactly. That's why you go get the run game. You not getting, people know I'm a hold Dak's feet to the fire. So that ain't you not getting.
Hey man, y'all gotta stop throwing them numbers out too, because this whole he's in year 9, I get it, but it's a couple of y'all favorites is in year 8. Because Lamar about to be coming back, and if Josh don't get it done on Sunday, I don't want to hear that, because this is what they'll say. Oh, but that's different. Don't stop throwing them numbers out, because if things don't break right for some of y'all favorites, they're gonna be coming back with no hardware in year 9 too, and then you're gonna be talking a different story. Yeah, that year 9 thing is way overrated, because Josh and Lamar are right there.
And I think again, what you just said, JV, and so JV. You speak your mind on the show. I'm not gonna fight you. I'm not gonna fight nobody who. If you don't believe in Dak, you have that right. This is the deal. Dak's here. He ain't going nowhere. They're not drafting a quarterback. This ain't even a class to draft a quarterback. So that's out.
It could be worse.
Yeah, and like, bro, at the end of the day, Dak Prescott is here, right now. So him being who he is. And the Cowboys still trying to maximize some of these windows, because at the end of the day, bro, you have 2 All-Pros on your team. There's some teams who don't have any. You have a CeeDee Lamb, you have a Micah Parsons.
You got 3.
And you got Tyler Smith. I feel like Tyler Smith is an All-Pro. Who's your other All-Pro?
Tyler Smith has been an All-Pro.
He has been an All-Pro. I thought he was All-Pro this year.
And I know y'all hate to say it, begrudgingly.
Brandon Aubrey.
And Dak's been an All-Pro. Like, our core, I know y'all don't like it. We have the core. So we can flip this fashion in Washington because we have the core. I know y'all don't want to believe it, but if we do it right, as Foot said, if we attack things properly, and I'm hoping that some of the people we about to get in the room, you never know how they're going to be. Like, Mike Zimmer was actively in the media saying, hey, we need defensive tackles. I need to see how Eberflus is gonna. He might come in and say, "Nah, we still need defensive tackles." I like my coaches being proactive in what they need.
Yeah.
You know, so I don't know if it because he might come back. This ain't Eberflus that coach linebackers, y'all. This is Eberflus that's a head coach. He coming back with a little bit more skins on the wall.
Yeah. No, I completely agree, guys. And listen, at the end of the day, let's make it make sense. And I'll just say this. It's not about being optimistic or being positive. It's just making it make sense. If it don't work, guess what? You drafting in the top 3, 4, and you are drafting a quarterback. You're not drafting one this year.
Y'all hate Dak so bad. If it don't work, we'll be in the top of the draft.
We'll be in the top. And guess what? You're going to be here buying an Arch Manning jersey or whoever we draft. So at the end of the day, I love you guys. Rome, did you have anything else before I let you go, bro?
I'm going to just say what I said earlier, man. It ain't about me being right. I just want to get it right.
Okay, let me get to this last super chat. Let's give Shotty a chance. No one knew Nick Sirianni. That's a great point. I think he'll incorporate some of the 49ers run scheme and more crossing routes in the passing game. That's a great super. Let's leave on that note. Who is the OC gentleman?
Oh, you got a big one, man. Don't miss that one.
We don't know who the OC is. Oh, my God. Xavier Smith. Wow. Wow. He dropped a 50. And I'm going to tell you what. This is what I want to do. All right. We at service right now. So Xavier Smith dropped this, but I'm going to post my Cash App. And I want to try to get Rome a few dollars, guys, because he's been up late.
Nah, man, you good,
No,
man.
No, listen. Sky has done this for me. Law has done this for me a few times. It's about love in this community, y'all. We're going to show love, right? Rome is a hard worker. So if you guys Cash App me anything just for this live or just for the work we're doing, hell, I'm about to go to the Senior Bowl this weekend.
I can't wait.
Whatever the case may be.
I'm tapped in because I know you're going to be having the info.
Man, I'm going to have the info. I'm going to talk to coaches. I'm going to talk to whoever I can get information from and get you guys whatever you need. But Xavier Smith, thank you so much for that, Superman. That means the world to me. Let me put that. Oh, great. It's already up. Great show tonight. I want to say this, too, from the bottom of my heart, bro. CFT, keep doing what you're doing. Like I said, it's going to be people who just like, man, at the end of the day, screw this team. We suck. That's fine. Like, you're allowed to feel that way.
It worked out, and I get it.
Like, you're allowed to feel however you want. But this is the thing. If it works, you better come back and say you were wrong. If he's a great coach, you better come say, and at the end of the day, I just want the team to win. I want the team to go to an NFC championship. I want the team to do some things. And I don't think that the window is closed. And again, if it is, guess what, CFT? You drafting a quarterback next year. So you drafting whatever. Right? Yeah.
I'm telling people right now, man, I got some close friends. You know what I'm saying? I went to school at Virginia Union Foot, so, you know, DMV, my area. You know what I'm saying? I got close friends that's Washington fans, like close friends. To see how they feel, it's worth the wait, man. Don't give up and tap out because they've been more disgruntled and mad than us. Trust me. And, you know what I'm saying? Now, it ain't fun to watch them do it, but it's dope as a friend to be like, you finally got it. And they like, now they ain't finished the deal, and if they don't, I'm gonna let them know about it. But my point is, hold it down for your team, man. And if you burnt out, take a break. I'll see you around the draft. You'll be back.
Hey, you'll be back, guys. I'm gonna get off with my good man CFT, my good man Rome, and listen, love you guys, Rome. Keep doing your thing, and we'll talk. All right, y'all.
Absolutely.
Peace.